and happy election day in these Wakandan streets. You are listening to The Source, 96.1 FM, 900 AM, streaming live on WURDradio.com. Follow us on all social media platforms at onWURD. 215-634-8065 is the number to call in. If you are hearing the sound of my voice, I am Andrea Lawful Sanders, and you might not want to look at the television screen. So here's what happened. This morning, I got up early. My son came in from New York to vote because he still has residency here, and decided that he was just staying long enough to vote so I could see his face eat up some oxtails. So I cooked. I couldn't even hug him, didn't touch him, just gave him a fist bump and talked to him for a couple of minutes. So I decided to go on the bike trail because it was election day. I couldn't sleep last night. I got on the bike trail. I get off the bike trail at around 8:45 this morning, and I have been in the street since. I went and I did live updates. If you're following me on Facebook, you'll see that I did live updates, and then ended up in Southwest Philadelphia where something major is about to happen, but I had to leave before it did happen because I had to come here and get on the air at 2 o'clock. Thank you, by the way, to the people who are calling me with tips on where to show up in the city. And so I got out. I am still in my bike clothes. Thank God the people from BET who are out there in Southwest Philadelphia gave me a t-shirt and a new mask. And I always carry, when COVID hit, I began buying camera equipment. So I have a Vivo camera, I have an iMic, I have all sorts of great things that I can carry on the road with me, so that if I have to, report live, then I can do it. That's what Mother does. I don't wait for people to make sure that I have the right equipment. I buy it myself so that when I need to use it, I get it done. Anyway, I am out there. I'm close to home, and I'm thinking, all right, I'll just stay close to where I live and make sure that I get all of what's going on. And child, I got a tip. And so I went chasing out to Southwest Philadelphia. And let me say this to you. For those of you who are do not have access to my Facebook page, the first thing I noticed when I went out to do my first live video this morning was that there were people from all around the country in Philadelphia. I met people from California. I met people from New York, Washington, D.C., Connecticut. I was like, what in the Sam Hill is going on? And to a person, they've all said to me that Philadelphia is so important in this election, and they recognize that without Pennsylvania, neither gentleman will win this election, right? And they also wanted to make sure there was no voter intimidation. So that's where we started that. But on top of that, District Attorney Larry Krasner was at the one place where I showed up this morning on Nedrow Avenue, and he was talking about the fact that it's been relatively calm wherever people have gone across the city. They've not had any major incidences at all, in fact, none. And every polling station that I stopped, they said that at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock this morning, the lines were wrapped around 2 blocks. By the time I got up there at 10 o'clock, it had calmed down quite a bit. I also saw quite a few young people, and which warmed my heart, right? So if you're a Facebook friend of mine, go check out my page. You'll see the live videos. Then I get the tip. I go out to Southwest Philadelphia, and OMG. I see these 2 white men across the street from me, and I said, oh, I thought they were BET reporters, but I didn't pay them any mind. So when I came around the corner and sat where the place was where we were supposed to be, I called them over, and I, because Mother, I can talk to anybody, anywhere, at any time. As I called them over, a black woman walked up to me. She says, can I talk to you for a minute? I said, hold on, let me finish talking to them. Turns out that she wanted to see who they were because they were concerned these 2 white men were in their neighborhood. Black people, Philadelphians are not the nicest and the warmest when they don't know who you are. Turns out these 2 men are from France, Public Radio France, NPR in France. One of them is Sebastien Payot. He gave me his business card. He said that they have been here for a week, and they intend to stay for another week, that the entire European countries are watching this election closely with their eyes wide open. They're mortified by what they're seeing in this country. And he says France is watching with bated breath, because one of the things we tend to forget as Americans, and I don't know if this is an insipid thing that we do time after time, we behave as if the entire world revolves around us, which it does to a certain extent. What happens here impacts what happens around the world, but we don't think about that. We only think about our needs and our wants and the vitriol that we like to spout. And so there are people from all over the world in this city. If you cannot go to a polling station and not see cameras. Black Entertainment Television is in the place where I was because some folks are going to show up there. I'm not at liberty to say, and I'm hoping that other reporters, there's some reporters that were heading out there because they knew what was going on, but even the workers, the poll workers, had no idea what was coming to that polling station. And so, listen, for those of you who have already voted, thank you. For those of you who have to vote after you get off from work, thank you. Please continue to exercise your civil rights and your civil liberties here in this country, and understand that what happens in this election is going to impact so many people on so many levels. It was interesting, and I paid a lot of attention to what was happening. I also noticed that in the different neighborhoods, the neighborhood that I was in, this last one, which made it so that I could not go back home to broadcast from home, which is why I'm in the studio. So I am taking a shower. I have no makeup on. I have no earrings. Not even cute. When was the last time you saw a mother in a T-shirt? I wear T-shirts to work out in, not to walk around in. So this is very difficult for me. Okay. All right. Okay. So who are you going to call them?
Does she mean 2 o'clock or 3?
I don't know. Then, so will you just text her back and ask her 2 o'clock or 3? You know. And so I walked into the studio. I had in my little equipment bag, my travel bag, I had a microphone cover. 2 microphone covers, because I never wanted to stick a microphone in people's faces without making sure that they're heard, right? Without making sure that I'm cleaning off whatever they're talking to. And so I happened to have that in my pocket. I didn't have my earphones. Thank God for Mike in the back, who gave me a pair of earphones to use. They're brand new, but let me tell you, the ones that I bought, that I use, my personal ones, which are in my work bag, which are at home, oh my God, these are basic in comparison. What's the matter? It's right now? Okay, then call them right now, and then we'll have the conversation when they get on the phone. In the meantime, let me talk to A from West Philly while you're doing that. Hey, are you there?
Hey, yes I am.
Good afternoon, man. Happy Election Day. What's going on in these McCondon streets?
It's fire. We're going to fight with the heart of the Black Panther.
Yes.
It is on and cracking. And one of the things I wanted to say is there was an old saying that was going on back in the day. The whole world is watching.
Yeah, the entire world, literally, A.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. And we are turning out for victory. And it is serious business. And I think that with his rhetoric and the way that he treated us and the way that he treated people in general, and his bravado and his nasty attitude, I think people are stepping up.
Yes.
Remember, just like President Obama said, we're looking for the 80%.
Yes.
Same thing I said before. If we get the 80%, we're going to get him out of here.
Yes.
And everybody just has to be confident. And my mother today, even though she voted earlier and she did her ballot, she walked someone who is 90 years old, 95 years old, and walked her around to the polling station. She said she doesn't want to write her information in. She doesn't want to send it a mail-in ballot. She says, I want to walk around and pull that poll.
Okay.
And when I thought about that, I said, well, wait a minute. The people were just able to start to vote in the 1920s. She's one of the first people who was voting back in the day.
Yes.
And that's awesome. And she's going to take a picture. And if someone who's 95 years old can do it, everybody else can come out.
There you go. All right, A. Thank you so much for calling in. I appreciate your being the first caller. Stay tuned, okay?
All right.
All right, my brother. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Talk to you soon. All right, bye-bye. All right, right now we have calling from Skype. Can you put him on so I can see him? Charles Ellis. Charles, are you there?
Hey, Andrea, how you doing? How's it going?
I have been roaming up and down this city talking to people from all around the world, honey. They're here in the city. What is going on?
Right.
Oh, my gosh, Charles. This election is so important to so many people around the world. And I just didn't realize it until I was out, doing live videos. What updates do you have for us?
Right. So far, we're just seeing high turnout and, we got high early voter turnout. We hit the 100 million mark. We had 100.8 million people voted nationwide early. So that's the final number, the early vote. That is, like, when we look at that in context, that's 72% of the total 2016 ballot count.
Wow.
So, like, there were 140 million ballots cast in the 2016 election. We just cast 72% of those, and that's also like 74% more early votes than in 2016 as well. And Philly, everyone's in Philly because Pennsylvania could be that decisive battleground, and Philly is like that huge corner of really critical votes, and that could determine everything. So that's why you're seeing a lot of people from around the world, from around the country, all eyes on Philly. Even I'm here in Washington, D.C.
Right.
You know, people need to know WURD is in Washington, D.C. We're keeping an eye on things down here, but people in D.C. are like, what's going on with Pennsylvania? What's going on with Philly? Right. So everyone, so people need to just make sure that they're turning out. I'm hearing reports of long lines in like places like Philly. But, you know, everything's moving smoothly, but, you know, long lines is always not it's not a good sign in terms of people should not be waiting for hours in a long line. That's voter suppression, but you know, we'll see how that all plays out. We're not going to really know anything until like later tonight on some of these key states.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you, Charles. I know you've been on for several hours now. Thank you for the update. I needed it because I was all in the streets trying to figure out what was going on. And I appreciate these numbers that you gave to me. 100.8 million people voted early, 72% of the total of the 2016 ballots. That's a lot of people.
It's amazing.
It is amazing. It's amazing. All right, my brother, stay righteous. We'll see each other soon.
All right.
All
Take
right.
care.
All right. Bye-bye.
Be safe.
Wow, man, this election is wow. That was Charles Ellis from his morning show. What is Charles Ellis' show called again? You don't even remember, do you? Dun, 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 dun. Why can't I remember Charles Ellis' show? This is terrible. I'm sorry, y'all. And I come after the brother every single day. You think I would know, right? Come on, Charles. Come on, Mike, help me. Oh, Lord, Mike is just as bad. I'm out in the streets working all day. All right, Bobby, line one. The reality. Thank you. Reality check. Thank you, Mike Thomas. Mike had to come and tell me, hi, Bobby, how are you?
I'm fine.
What's going on, sister?
First of all, I went to vote. Yay.
Yay. Can't clap. Yes.
Yeah, thank you. The number two.
Number
the
two.
system of moving people was so smooth. So smooth.
Yes.
Hats off to all the workers, I'm telling you. Now, this is where I want to go. I got 3 topics. I'm going to speak them fast.
All right, ma'am.
Okay, here's promise and performance. Topic number 1, right? Donald Trump wants to, he's saying the way the count is and everything is unfair now. But when he was running president, he never said the word unfair. So my number 2, performance, he's promising what he's going to do for black people. He didn't do it in this 4 years past. He's not going to do it again. So he can save that breath and that oxygen and reserve himself.
Oh, but Bobby, can I share this with you? Were you listening to Reality Check with Charles? Were you listening? Okay, so they had a couple of gentlemen on there, and one of them was saying that black men are voting for Donald Trump because he panders to their feelings and their ego and what? And I'm like, if he didn't do anything for the last 4 years and promises you a platinum plan 2 days before the election, how does that work, right?
And you blind. You just went through his performance, and you're going to talk about a promise. Listen, I'm going to make billions and trillions of dollars someday. People need to just sign up and put their name on my roster, okay? Because it's the same stupid level. This is my second one, baby. When the ballot. Listen, I'm very upset with this system. I am extremely upset.
Okay.
Here's my issue. People faithfully advertise telling people to go and, send in your ballots, vote early and stuff. And then you turn around and you throw people's ballots away as opposed to returning it to them in a timely manner so they can exercise their right to vote. We got a problem. We're making some change. Whoever's going to be president, I'm calling them. I'm writing them, whatever, because this is ridiculous. It's one thing to think you the power. It's another thing to mess with people too long.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
And my final one is black men. I am not mad at them. We birthed those. Every man child that was born or man today, We birthed them. But we need to get our switch and our belts out again because they didn't learn in the process of growing up. Love you, baby.
Oh, wow. Love you too, Bobby. Bobby is like, yeah, stop playing with everybody in these Wakandan streets. And so I am so excited, you know, of what's happening out here. I feel like, I don't feel like, I am very aware that Philadelphia is in a very pivotal place right now. All eyes are on us. Everybody is watching what we are doing. They understand that this election comes down to us. If you go on Facebook and you watch my video, the last live video that I did with the men from France, they said, listen, we know about the electoral. They could spit off the numbers better than the average American could. And this is why I say to you all, you know, knowledge is power. Learn, understand, stop, you know, doing the sound bites that you see in social media and the sound bites that people are giving you and the hype that you hear all the time. Those two men knew our history better than we did, and they kept saying, well, we're going to wait around to see, maybe tonight. I'm like, nah. You may not know tonight, maybe tomorrow you'll know who won the presidency, but everybody is on edge. I have sister groups who are saying, after I get off the air at 4 o'clock, they're going to start a Zoom conversation so we can talk to each other about how we're feeling and what's going on here. I had to make sure my son got back safely to where he was coming from after he voted, but he said he was not going to allow the elections to go by and not exercise his right to vote. And at the same time, we still have a ton of work to do. But Philadelphia, all eyes are on us. And I understand the hoopla, and I understand, you know, bringing in stars in here to have conversations with us. What I am looking for is the days and the months and the years after the election. If you think I'm talking to you now, oh, it's going to be on and popping. Because we have got to get to a better place than where we have been. We just have to. You are listening to The Source, 96.1 FM, 900 AM, streaming live on WURDradio.com. Follow us on all social media platforms at onWURD. 215-634-8065 is the number to call in. If you are hearing the sound of my voice, I am Andrea Lawful Sanders, and we will be right back after these messages.
Hi, this is the actress Celia Ward. Election day is coming up, and making sure that our votes are counted is just as critical as casting the ballot. Any voter can vote by mail by using a mail-in ballot, but please follow the instructions carefully. After you fill out your ballot, you place it in the white envelope labeled official ballot. Your ballot won't be counted if it's not in this envelope. Put the white envelope into the pre-addressed outer return envelope, sign, seal that pre-addressed return envelope, and sign the declaration on the envelope. Return your ballot by mail or by hand delivering it to your County Board of Election office or dropping it off at a designated drop box location. This year's been hard, losing loved ones, jobs, class time, more shootings of unarmed black people. So your vote, our vote, is part of making things better. And remember, the election isn't over until every vote is counted.
Paid for by the Leadership Center for Attorney General Studies.
This year has been unprecedented. From the COVID pandemic to nationwide protests addressing systemic racism and calling for criminal justice reform. For weeks, we've been reminding you to make your voice heard in this election, and now is the time to act. Voting is how we empower our communities, and this election day, we can make things happen for us instead of letting things happen to us. So use your power and make your plan to vote today. If you signed up to vote by mail, don't wait. Complete your ballot, put it in the small envelope and seal it. Then put it in a larger envelope and seal that too. Sign and date it. Then drop off your ballot at your county election office today. If you have not signed up to vote by mail, go to the polls on Tuesday, November 3rd. Make sure to confirm your polling location. And don't forget to wear a mask. Polling places are open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. on Election Day. To find your county election office or polling location, visit votespa.com. Take your power to the polls and vote. Paid for by Power Interfaith.
Hi, this is the actress Celia Ward. Election day is coming up, and making sure that our votes are counted is just as critical as casting the ballot. Any voter can vote by mail by using a mail-in ballot, but please follow the instructions carefully. After you fill out your ballot, you place it in the white envelope labeled official ballot. Your ballot won't be counted if it's not in this envelope. Put the white envelope into the pre-addressed outer return envelope, sign, seal that pre-addressed return envelope, and sign the declaration on the envelope. Return your ballot by mail or by hand delivering it to your County Board of Election office or dropping it off at a designated drop box location. This year's been hard, losing loved ones, jobs, class time, more shootings of unarmed black people. So your vote, our vote, is part of making things better. And remember, the election isn't over until every vote is counted.
Paid for by the Leadership Center for Attorney General Studies.
Keystone First VIP Choice HMO SNP Dual Eligible Special Needs Plan has a 4 out of 5 star rating and is one of the highest rated Medicare plans in the region. Keystone First VIP Choice and you are better together. If you live in Philadelphia, Bucks, Chester, Montgomery, or Delaware County and you have both Medicare and Medicaid, choose the Medicare plan that is working to help you get better care. Enjoy extra benefits at no cost to you with Keystone First VIP Choice. You get benefits like dental, vision, and transportation to and from your medical appointments. They also cover a fitness membership to a gym of your choice. $150 toward over-the-counter pharmacy items. There's no copay for doctor's visits. They offer a large provider network, a great prescription plan, dental coverage, and even eyeglasses. Plus, you don't have to wait for open enrollment. You can change your coverage every quarter. Keystone First VIP Choice. The name you trust, the service you deserve. Call Keystone First VIP Choice today at 1-877-686-1760 or visit KeystoneFirstVIPChoice.com.
Right now, the health and financial security of voters over 50 are on the line. That's why AARP Pennsylvania is fighting for your voice to be heard. AARP Pennsylvania wants to make sure that you know all of your voting options and that all Americans can vote safely, whether they choose to vote from home or in person. To learn more about your voting options, visit aarp.org/PA votes. Paid for by AARP.
The WURD Radio Newsletter, keeping you informed, engaged, and connected. Sign up by visiting WURDradio.com. Scroll to the bottom of the page and type your email address under Connect with Us. You'll receive the latest information on WURD Radio, messages from our President and CEO, Sarah Lomax Reese, exclusive articles and multimedia content, and resources. Stay informed with the WURD Radio Newsletter.
This is Latasha Brown of Black Voters Matter. Trump is a liar. He and the Republicans will do anything to steal this election. For weeks, Trump and his supporters have been gassing up our community with empty promises, fear tactics, and spending millions of dollars on social media ads with outright lies to divide us. He says he's been good to black people. Truth is, 80% of black businesses didn't receive any stimulus money. Thousands of our folks have died from COVID-19 because of his lack of leadership. And the First Step Act was created by Congress, not him. He only signed it. It is important that we know that black wealth has not grown at all in the last 4 years. So while some may be easily fooled and distracted by Trump lies, not us. We must stand strong that we're not going back because racism is not okay. Family, make sure that you get out on November 3rd and cast your vote.
Paid for by Black Voters Matter Action PAC, which is responsible for the content of this ad, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee.
You're listening to The Source with Andrea Lawful Sanders on WURD Radio. Streaming live on WURDradio.com and the WURD Radio app.
Welcome back to The Source and happy election day to all of you. Because listen, I bet you that's Senator Bob Casey. Lynn from Darby. Oh, do you hear Mike? Can you hear Mike in the mic? Is that Senator Casey? Yeah. All right, hold on 1 second. Lynn from Darby, are you there?
Yes, hi.
Hi, darling. How are you?
The government's on. Mr. Casey's on. I just wanted to tell you about me and Indigo's voting experience.
Yes.
We voted in Darby. It was a long line.
Uh-huh.
And then we put everybody on WURD Radio on Solomon's show. Everybody said, yay! I was so proud of our people, Mother. It feels so good. And it took us 3 hours, but I didn't care, Mother. We got our vote in, and the people were so happy and excited and motivated.
Yes.
And I'm proud of my daughter, Indigo.
Yes.
She's graduating from community college, and she's going to Temple.
Come on, Indigo. Come on. Yes.
She makes beats, and I was so proud of her. Yay!
Yes. Give her a hug from Mother, okay?
I sure will. And Mother, you take care. I love your show. Never miss it.
Yes.
And God bless everybody. We're gonna be in victory. Yay!
Yes, I'm excited. I'm excited. Talk to you soon, lady. Keep listening, okay?
Okay.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Senator Bob Casey, 8 years as Pennsylvania's Auditor General and 2 years as State Treasurer. Bob Casey compiled a record that focused on making the government more accountable and responsive to the needs of Pennsylvania. Senator Casey, are you there?
I'm here. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Listen, so I don't know if you heard the beginning of the show where I said that I have been out in the streets in Philadelphia doing live videos just on my own, right? No one's asked me to do it.
Here.
You didn't hear that?
What are you seeing?
Oh, so there are people from around the world in Philadelphia. I met reporters from France who said that the entire France is watching everything that's happening, and they decided to send them. They have France Public Radio, which is like NPR. They said they have been here for a week. They intend to stay for another week to see what's going on with the election. And he says the whole world is watching Philadelphia and this country.
That's great.
And it was humbling.
It's a big vote.
Yes. Yes, and I met people from California, people from Connecticut, Washington, D.C., New York, all flying in or driving in to work the polls to stop intimidation tactics in Philadelphia. I also saw, while I was sitting in the cut, because when I pulled up to our location in Southwest Philadelphia this afternoon, before I came here, some Trump trucks. And they were kind of hiding in the corner. And then I guess when they realized they didn't see anything happening, they must have gotten the same news we got, that something was coming there. They drove off. But you can feel the tension. There's excitement and tension at once. It's really weird in Philadelphia right now. What do you have to report to us from your end of the state, sir?
Well, first of all, I'm up in Scranton in northeastern Pennsylvania, so we have one or two, maybe two Democratic counties up here, but most of them are Republican counties. So we're surrounded by Republican counties.
Yes.
But I think Joe Biden's going to be able to cut into those numbers, and I think he's going to do very well in the city of Philadelphia and the Philadelphia suburbs.
Yes.
But in a lot of other places in smaller counties around the state, I think he's going to greatly reduce the margin or the deficit in some of those very red Republican counties, and that's going to be a good result for him.
Yes.
The key thing, though, is just to keep encouraging people to vote, because about probably at least 55% of our state, if not more, will vote on Election Day. So we're happy that the mail-in vote is high, but we need to make sure that other 55 to 60% that's out there, that everybody votes, and so people don't, because they may have intended to do it by mail, we don't want them to skip Election Day. So if they didn't get their ballot in, they need to vote today. We just got to keep pushing. Get out and vote, please, because there's so much at stake for the country.
So if they sent in for a ballot and the ballot did not come, they can still go into a polling station and vote?
Yeah, they could drop it off.
Okay, but what if the ballot never got to them, sir?
Well, if it didn't get to them, they should go to a polling place and tell them what happened and vote in person.
Okay,
There's also a possibility that someone would vote provisionally.
Yes,
which means
that's
you
what
voted,
I thought.
But
Okay.
So,
all right.
But it sounds like people are voting.
Oh, they are out there voting. The lines were wrapped around buildings very early this morning, and it was peaceful. Some folks, you showed up and they looked cross. But for the most part, the average citizen in Philadelphia just, were ray-raying and thank you. And we saw, you know what else I saw, Senator Casey? Loads of young people. I was so heartened. Yep. Not only were they volunteering, they were getting their friends and family members to come out and vote, which heartened me, right?
No, it's great, because often the vote among younger voters is much different than the older vote. I think both will be high.
Yes. Charles Ellis from the previous show, Reality Check, called in to tell me that 100.8 million people voted early. That's 72% of the total 2016 ballots counted in America, and 74% more early votes than in 2016. So people are coming out. What are your thoughts about this election? Should the President of the United States not prevail, sir? What do you think is going to happen? How do we move on from here to get back to a place of peace and quietness? Because we've been in an uproar for 4 years.
Well, I think people know a few things about Vice President Biden. Number one is they know he's got a plan to tackle the virus. He has to do that. That has to be number one in terms of priority. but he also has a plan to build back better, to build back a stronger economy.
Mm-hmm.
And that means when you don't just have a recovery with a lot of jobs created, you have a recovery that has high-wage jobs you can support a family on, preferably union jobs.
Mm-hmm.
And that when you're having a big economic recovery, communities of color have to be able to be given the opportunity to come along with us. We can't just have a recovery for one group of Americans. Everybody's got to recover and recover well. Yeah. And that hasn't always happened, even when Democrats have power.
Right.
We got to make sure that we're, in addition to working on big issues like climate change and police reform,
mm-hmm.
that when we have an economic recovery, everybody benefits so they can have jobs that support a family on. And I think his plan will do that.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I think people know that Vice President Biden is someone he's a very strong Democrat, but he also is going to open his arms to listen to people from a different point of view. Now, if he's successful and he keeps trying to reach out to the other side and they keep pushing him away, well, then he'll move on. But I think he'll try very hard.
Okay. I am glad that you talked about some of these issues, because here is my thought, and I want you to take this with you. Nothing that you can do about it right now.
Yeah.
I have been having, and the show before mine have been having conversations with a good amount of black men in this community, in the country, who are opting to vote for the current president because they have felt like they've not been heard, they've been dying in the streets, et cetera, et cetera. What I don't want us to do is to dismiss them as simple and crazy, because there's so much trauma that they've experienced over the years. Even though we may not agree with what they're doing, we need to have a seat at the table for them, not only to hear them, but to come up with some solutions, because quite frankly, sir, I don't think the Democratic Party has another 4 years to give for people to not get what they need to have. Okay?
No, I think we're going to have to get a lot done in the next 2 years.
Yes, sir.
We may have a good night tonight and then have a tough night 2 years from now.
Yeah.
We got to get a lot done.
Yes.
Hey, one statistic I'd give you that maybe we should have emphasized more.
Mm-hmm.
One of the most important issues that didn't get talked about too much because the virus and so many things interrupted, but just on jobs. Here's the reality. January 2017, Barack Obama was leaving office. Philadelphia had an unemployment rate of almost 6.5%. It had 45,000 people out of work. That's a lot of people. Guess what it is today, though?
Oh, Lord.
It's double that. 86,000 people, almost 12% of the population out of work, almost double what it was. So those who say, oh, Donald Trump did something for jobs, he is going to leave office, I hope, and he could leave office with one of the worst jobs records of any president.
Yes.
And people got to know, if you want to create jobs, you've got to get out and vote for Joe Biden. If you want to improve health care, if you want to lift wages, if you want to make progress on police reform, there's only one choice.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for checking in with us. This was awesome. I would love to check in with you at some point after the election, sir, so we can have more follow-up. And, Lord, maybe we'll be popping champagne corks or a glass of water or something.
We hope so, as long as everybody votes.
Yes, yeah, exactly. So we have to keep getting people to get out and vote. Thank you so much for calling in, sir. It was always a pleasure.
God bless.
All right, bye-bye. Listen, go vote. Vote, 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 V-O-T-E, V-O-T-E, vote again, vote again, vote, vote, vote. If you didn't get your absentee ballot or your mail-in ballot, go to your polling station, go stand in those lines, go vote. I don't care who you vote for, go vote. Please exercise your right. The entire world is watching us. Sultan Ahmed, are you there?
I'm here, my sister. Great show as always.
Thank you, sir.
I do want to put a little bit of the brakes on this idea that black men are supporting Trump. I mean, it's said too general and almost said in an absolute way. Trump's black vote in 2016 was 12% across the whole country. Whole country, 12%. So it doesn't suggest that massive numbers of black men. He got 27% of the Hispanic vote, but only 12% of the black vote. So we shouldn't just kind of throw this term around and make it sound like black men are going for this guy.
Yeah.
The other thing that I think is real important is after this election, we need to do a comprehensive campaign of voter education, voter registration, and then voter participation.
Yes.
And we got to go back and do some basic educational things on issues that are local, that are statewide, that are citywide, so that we can get people clearly involved with the process of participation.
Yes, sir.
And then we got to go and do massive registration all of the time, because every 6 months there's another election. So I have an idea I want to send to you about this social impact bond that we need to talk about after this election to approach council. Today we're voting on $134 million bond for infrastructure. But we need to talk about a bond that deals with the people. All the other bonds have always dealt with the
buildings,
the gas systems, all of the infrastructure of society. But we got an idea for a bond that will deal with the social impact of the people in society. So I just need to know how to get my idea to you.
All right. So get a pen and paper, and then I have to take a quick break, okay? You ready?
Okay, I got you. Just go ahead.
It's A-L, A as in apple, L as in lollipop, Sanders, S-A-N-D-E-R-S, at WURDradio.com.
A.L. Sanders at
WURDradio.com. Okay?
Okay, I'm going to be talking to you more
Yes,
about
sir.
it. We waited till this election is over to put this forward.
Yes, sir. Happy Election Day. Talk to you soon.
Let's educate more people, and let's be careful how we're throwing these terms out about black men. 12% nationally voted for this guy, and that wasn't just black men.
Yes, sir. All right. Talk to you soon, sir. All right. Bye-bye. He's absolutely right. Pastor Wallace, I will talk to him right after the break, because I can't wait to talk to him. He's absolutely right. When our words matter, so when we're choosing our words, we have to make sure that we clarify what we're saying. And so I hope people don't think we're saying all black men are voting for Trump, or that all the black men that are voting for Trump are from Philadelphia. We do have the data. And so we have to just come back to the table and have conversations with those who have been feeling disenfranchised to the point where they don't want to even vote, right? Or go somewhere else to vote. You are listening to The Source, 96.1 FM, 900 AM, streaming live on WURDradio.com. Follow us on all social media platforms at onWURD. 215-634-8065 is the number to call in. We will be right back after these messages.
Remember when Trump defended neo-Nazis?
You also had people that were very fine people on both sides.
Or downplayed the coronavirus?
It's going to disappear one day. It's like a miracle.
It's time to fire politicians who failed us and elect leaders who will fight systemic racism, have a plan to beat the coronavirus, and will address bias in our healthcare system. This election, remember whose side Trump is on, not yours. Request a ballot now. Make a plan to vote. Our lives depend on it. Paid for by the NAACP.
Hey, WURD family. Our friends at Amoroso's Baking Company are hiring right now. Amoroso's has been baking the delicious bread in our community for over 100 years, and they want you to join their team today. The old and the young love Amoroso's, and they are hiring right now. Check it out. They offer fair pay and provide health, dental, and prescription plans after 90 days employment. Call 856-754-0355 or visit amorososbaking.com for details.
Voting is power. The power to elect candidates who won't treat coronavirus like a joke. The power to invest in black communities. The power to create an economy that works for everyone. The power to invest in education and job training. And the power to replace Trump. Make a plan to vote today. Our lives depend on it.
Paid for by AFSCME People, which is responsible for the content of this ad. AFSCMEPeople.org. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee.
Monday through Thursday, keep it locked to WURD Radio. At 6 a.m., start your day with the Power Hour, hosted by Bishop Dwayne Royster and Reverend Mark Kelly Tyler. At 7, it's Wake Up with WURD with Solomon Jones. At 10 a.m., it's Reality Check with Charles Ellison. Then at 1 p.m., it's The Source, hosted by Andrea Lawful Sanders on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, and the Black Women's Leadership Council on Wednesdays. At 4 p.m., it's Evening Words with Nick Taliaferro. Then at 7, it's Save Space with Sincerely Sarita. At 9 p.m., round up your day with Keeping It Real with the Reverend Al Sharpton. Keep your dial locked to WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD. Streaming live on WURDradio.com and the WURD Radio app.
Or watch live on WURD TV via Facebook and YouTube. WURD Radio. Independent Black Media.
This is Latasha Brown of Black Voters Matter. Trump is a liar. He and the Republicans will do anything to steal this election. For weeks, Trump and his supporters have been gassing up our community with empty promises, fear tactics, and spending millions of dollars on social media ads with outright lies to divide us. He says he's been good to black people. Truth is, 80% of black businesses didn't receive any stimulus money. Thousands of our folks have died from COVID-19 because of his lack of leadership. And the First Step Act was created by Congress, not him. He only signed it. It is important that we know that black wealth has not grown at all in the last 4 years. So while some may be easily fooled and distracted by Trump lies, not us. We must stand strong that we're not going back because racism is not okay. Family, make sure that you get out on November 3rd and cast your vote.
Paid for by Black Voters Matter Action PAC, which is responsible for the content of this ad, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee.
Hi, this is the actress Cela Ward. Election day is coming up, and making sure that our votes are counted is just as critical as casting the ballot. Any voter can vote by mail by using a mail-in ballot, but please follow the instructions carefully. After you fill out your ballot, you place it in the white envelope labeled official ballot. Your ballot won't be counted if it's not in this envelope. Put the white envelope into the pre-addressed outer return envelope, sign, seal that pre-addressed return envelope, and sign the declaration on the envelope. Return your ballot by mail or by hand delivering it to your County Board of Election office or dropping it off at a designated drop box location. This year's been hard, losing loved ones, jobs, class time, more shootings of unarmed black people. So your vote, our vote, is part of making things better. And remember, the election isn't over until every vote is counted.
Paid for by the Leadership Center for Attorney General Studies.
You're listening to The Source with Andrea Lawful Sanders on WURD Radio. Streaming live on WURDradio.com and the WURD Radio app.
Welcome back to The Source. If you're just joining us, I had a good conversation with Senator Bob Casey about what's going on in Scranton. He believes it's only 2 of the counties up there are Democratic, so they're surrounded by Republicans, but he believes that they will have a cut into the lead that the president has always enjoyed on that end of the state, which is why so many people are in Philadelphia doing what they need to do. Right now, we have Pastor Reverend Dr. Alan E. Waller, the senior pastor of the Enon Tabernacle Baptist Church in Philadelphia. Reverend Waller, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Man, I have been in the streets, sir, talking to people.
Me too.
What are you hearing in the street?
Well, it's good. I mean, it's a lot of people are out. A lot of people are energized. They were out early. I was up this morning at 6:30, and I was at.
What happened to you, Pastor?
Lines were everywhere. I'm here.
Okay. Yeah, you were going in and out for a second.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So good lines. People are out. Looks like 2000. Some are suggesting it looks like 2008.
Wow.
In terms of the numbers out there. So I feel confident that Philly is doing their part.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you met people from across the country who are in Philadelphia right now helping at the vote?
There are a lot of people from D.C. and New York.
Yes.
In fact, one pastor from D.C. came to my church this morning and just to kind of hang out with me, and just sort of is in town to help. And I was encouraged by that. Yes.
Yeah. I met people from California. One group brought their entire team from California here, straight to Philadelphia. They didn't go anywhere else around the country, and they did not go any other part of the state. They have been following the news. I saw people from Connecticut, D.C., and New York State. The one that I'm talking about all the time are the 2 journalists from France who are here.
Yes.
And say that a lot of them are here from around the world because their eyes are laser focused on the United States and what happens in this election. And many of them decided to come to Philadelphia because they felt it was pivotal.
The 2 from France came by Enon, but I missed them.
Yes.
They came by when I was not there.
Yes. Really nice young men who, it was so funny, Pastor Waller, the black folks didn't know who they were. All they saw were two white men, and they started to get real hostile. So I had to school them on Philly style, you know. I said, you know, we've been targeted in recent weeks, and this is why this is happening. And they were like, well, thank you for talking to me, because the minute I started talking to them, people backed off, right? Because they realized somebody knew them. I said, but oh, Philly now, if you look suspicious, it's going to be some good trouble. And they were like, oh, okay. So, yeah.
That's Philly normally.
Right?
If you're not from Philly, you got to get your Philly card before you're in.
You got to get a cred. Yep.
You got to get a card.
Yeah. So I had to give it to them. I'm like, here you go. They're good. They're good. They're from France. They're from NPR France. And so that was really cool. Look, we are here. It's election day. I have had so many conversations with people, especially women, who are saying, Lord, they don't know, their nerves are frayed, they don't know what to do. And I've been suggesting to people to go out and help, you know, go talk to folks out there in the polls. Stand up outside and see what's happening. It helps you to take your mind off what's going on. Give us a synopsis from your point of view of what do you think is going to happen in the next few days and weeks, sir? Pastor Waller?
Hey, hello?
Yes, okay.
Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
I think that at the end of the day, it's going to come in that Biden is ahead, and I think that Donald Trump is going to do what is Trumpian and send everything into court, and it's going to be a lot of frivolous lawsuits and challenges, so that's going to delay us being able to declare a winner, and I think that we have to stay focused. I believe that tonight, we should expect, I'm encouraging everybody go home.
Yes.
Because I believe that there's going to be shenanigans, and I believe that there are going to be some Trump people, and this is not the time to prove how
tough you are.
How tough we are in Philly, you know, a lot of that. We need to let the National Guard do what the National Guard does. They're here anyhow.
Right.
And we need to recognize that it is legal to be obnoxious. And therefore, I believe that what we're going to see are a lot of Trump people doing obnoxious but legal things, hoping to bait some of us into something that will divert attention from people protecting the vote and protecting the count. And we can't fall for that okie doke.
Right.
It's already happened once. We can't allow that to happen. We need to let this process roll. But I feel very good based on the turnout that, you know, a large turnout favors us. I still believe there are more good people in this country than bad. And quite frankly, this election is between that. It's not between Republicans and Democrats. It's between good and bad. It literally is that. And I believe that there are more good people. And so a large turnout favors the good.
Right.
And so we got to ride this out now.
All right now. So listen, one more question. There was a thought yesterday. I got a text message that the city was looking for counters overnight for ballots. Are they still looking for people to count ballots? Volunteers?
I don't know. I had the commissioner on last Thursday night, and he said that was a strategy that they would use if they thought they needed it. So I know they were doing that. Through my knowledge,
they
have what they need and are going to get this thing done.
Okay.
I believe that it's going to work. We're going to stay positive.
Yes, sir.
I'm getting ready to get back out here in the street.
Yes,
ready
sir.
For the evening push.
Yes.
And we'll see you at the party.
All right, sir. So when I leave the studios at 4, I'm going to come out and do a little bit more pushing myself and talking to people and encouraging them. Listen, we will talk soon, okay? Absolutely. And I want to thank you for being a voice of reason all these weeks. It is not lost upon me that you've been here with us the entire time. And I'll see you next Tuesday. Same bad time, same bad channel.
There it is.
Have a good one, sir.
Take care.
All right, bye-bye. All right, Brother Michael, I'll get to you when I get off the break, okay? Hold on for a moment. You are listening to The Source, 96.1 FM, 900 AM, streaming live on WURDradio.com. Follow us on all social media platforms at onWURD. 215-634-8065 is the number to call in. We will be right back after these messages.
Hello, my name is Hassan Bennett. I did 13 years in prison for a crime I didn't commit. Over-policing in our community has led to over 100 casualties like mine. It's time we, the people, take control of our future. And we do this on November 3rd by voting to make communities safer and the system fairer.
Paid for by Black Vote PA, which is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.theelectionisnow.com.
Buying something from a dealer just sounds a bit, well, put it like this. My cousin Ray Ray got arrested for buying something from a dealer. So why would you want to buy your car from a dealer? Hi, everybody. This is Nick inviting you to buy your next car from Jerry over at Cardex. See, they're not dealers. They're like a car concierge service. They design a car around you. Almost any make. If it's not on the lot, they'll go out and get it for you. So use my car concierge, where I've already bought 4 cars. Cardex at 116 East Glenside Avenue in Glenside, Pennsylvania. Check them out online at cardexinc.com. or call Cardex at 215-886-3230.
This is Latasha Brown of Black Voters Matter. Trump is a liar. He and the Republicans will do anything to steal this election. For weeks, Trump and his supporters have been gassing up our community with empty promises, fear tactics, and spending millions of dollars on social media ads with outright lies to divide us. He says he's been good to black people. Truth is, 80% of black businesses didn't receive any stimulus money. Thousands of our folks have died from COVID-19 because of his lack of leadership. And the First Step Act was created by Congress, not him. He only signed it. It is important that we know that black wealth has not grown at all in the last 4 years. So while some may be easily fooled and distracted by Trump lies, not us. We must stand strong that we're not going back because racism is not okay. Family, make sure that you get out on November 3rd and cast your vote.
Paid for by Black Voters Matter Action PAC, which is responsible for the content of this ad, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee.
Hello? Hey, you've been on my mind, so I'm just calling to check in. Oh, we're holding up well here in Pennsylvania. Just trying to stay safe and figuring out if we should vote in person or by mail. We like going to the polls. Yeah, you never miss an election. And you know we're not missing this year either, and neither should you. But which way is the safest? Well, remember that valuable information you got from AARP about COVID-19? Mom even had me read it. Yeah, that was good info. AARP has up-to-date voting information for 50-plus voters in every state. It's right there at aarp.org/election2020. Oh, I got it. aarp.org/election2020. I love having the answers before your mama. Pops, you know what happens when you try to show out. Yeah, you're probably right about that.
According to the radical left, Kathy Barnett isn't supposed to exist, let alone be a candidate for United States Congress. See, Kathy Barnett is a black woman and a conservative. She spent 10 years in the Armed Forces Reserves. Kathy doesn't fit the victimhood mentality the left is selling. She grew up poor, and despite the odds against her, she built a good life. She loves America, and that's why she's running for Congress. Kathy Barnett not only exists, she lives the American dream.
I'm Kathy Barnett, and I approve this message.
Hi, this is the actress Celia Ward. Election day is coming up, and making sure that our votes are counted is just as critical as casting the ballot. Any voter can vote by mail by using a mail-in ballot, but please follow the instructions carefully. After you fill out your ballot, you place it in the white envelope labeled official ballot. Your ballot won't be counted if it's not in this envelope. Put the white envelope into the pre-addressed outer return envelope, sign, seal that pre-addressed return envelope, and sign the declaration on the envelope. Return your ballot by mail or by hand delivering it to your County Board of Election office or dropping it off at a designated drop box location. This year's been hard, losing loved ones, jobs, class time, more shootings of unarmed black people. So your vote, our vote, is part of making things better. And remember, the election isn't over until every vote is counted.
Paid for by the Leadership Center for Attorney General Studies.
You're listening to The Source with Andrea Lawful Sanders on WURD Radio. Streaming live on WURDRadio.com and the WURD Radio app.
Welcome back to The Source. Wow, I'm excited. I feel like there's this excitement in the air. Brother Michael from Columbus, Ohio, are you there?
How are you, sister?
Man, it's election day in these Wakandan streets. All the shenanigans has come to the head.
Man, let me tell you something. Mm-hmm. I'm in here cooking my beans, my cornbread from scratch.
Listen.
All right? That's my winning meal. Go away, because I'm already preparing my meal.
Your beans and cornbread from scratch. Is it lima beans?
No, they're not lima. They're red beans.
They're red. Oh, you're doing red beans. Okay.
Red beans, right? So that's how good I feel.
Listen, I'm about to pull up my red bean soup. Trust and believe, my red pea soup. Oh, look, Mike is looking at me like, yes, Mike, I really can cook really well.
Yeah.
I'm about to pull up my red pea soup, put a little Jamaican Scotch bonnet sauce up in there, or cut up a Scotch bonnet pepper. Man, I'm going to eat that and watch the election results.
When I feel real good, that's what I do. I cook beans.
Yes.
The people up here are showing out. The black people are showing out. I'm in the mixed community. I didn't see nobody but black people when I went to the polls.
Wow.
The people were out. After I finish these beans, I'm gonna go back out there this evening. But the people here, as far as I can tell, being here 2 years, they're inspired, and I've been joining them, and I respect them. So yeah, we're gonna try to bring Columbus home.
Yes.
I'm gonna take care of Philadelphia. We're gonna be okay.
All right, now we're working it out. We're working it out. All right, maybe somebody will call me from Florida and tell me what's going on there. If you have anybody who's in Florida, call mother. What am I talking about? My parents are there, but then I would have them on the phone too long. My father doesn't know how to have a 2-minute conversation. Nope. Thank you, Brother Michael. Have a good one, man. Happy election day.
Too.
All right, bye-bye. All right. Maurice, Southwest.
I've been up since 6:30, mother.
What you doing? Tell me you did not strip to the polls now. Tell me you kept
No,
your clothes.
I was up there at Myers Playground.
Myers.
King session.
Yes.
Handing out coffee and not grits. What's the other? Oatmeal. Oatmeal to the people line, putting chairs out, and we had a vow. All seniors that come up, no matter how long we've been standing in line, they go first. I do my part, and I can't drive because I'm legally blind, but I own a car. I loan my car out to pick up people. I've been doing my part. I just don't talk trash on the radio. I do trash on the radio. I'm doing my part. I'm just upset that we still haven't done enough. I don't think we've done enough.
What do you mean? What do you mean, Maurice?
I mean, we haven't reached out to other segments of Pennsylvania and let them know that Philly is the spot. Follow our lead. Harrisburg, Pittsburgh, we got to let them know what we're doing. They need to know about URD. They need to know this is the only black talk show radio in the state, and it's owned by a black woman. We got to take care of our state. I ain't worried about, the only other state I'm worried about right now is Kentucky. You know why?
Yes, I do get it.
What I'm saying is for us to do our part. As soon as I get finished talking to you, I'm going up and down my street again. Make sure that everybody came out and do what they're supposed to do. And that's what we got to do. And we got to do this for every election. Because I'm telling you right now, state reps didn't have to do anything because their race was over at midterms. They already know they won. So that's why you don't hear too much from them. But they need to be out more than anybody because they got free time and they got time to do it. So, Mother, I'm following your lead, and I know if I didn't do what I was supposed to do today, I was going to get a spanking.
Man, and let me tell you, let me say this to you, Maurice. From my heart to yours, thank you. Thank you for everything. Yeah, but listen, I want to thank you for doing your part. You know, what I don't appreciate are people who would talk a bunch of yin-yang and then never do anything. You have us cracking up in here, and then you go out and you handle your business. That's what I like to see. You know what I mean? Because you're doing your part. If everybody would do what you did, then we would get so much more done. You know? It's a lot. So
I love black people.
So do I, Maurice. I love them to pieces. I do. You should have seen me this morning.
Or agree, I love black people because I hate to say this, but I won't take it from the Planet of the Apes. Now, people may say something about, but what did they say? Ape does not kill ape.
That's right. Maurice, where are you going to be at 4 o'clock?
At 4 o'clock? I'll probably still be out running around the street trying to get people out to vote.
Oh, well, all right then, because I was going to see if I could try and come find you, just to say hello, because I'm out in the streets too. But
well, let me tell you something. This morning, Myers and Longstreth and 58th and Willows, right in the center of both of those. This morning at 6:30, the line was around the corner.
Yes, I keep hearing that, Maurice. I keep hearing that. I am so proud.
So let's get that second, third, fourth wave.
That's right.
I don't even know why anybody went to work today. I've been calling beginning of the year, take the day off. I don't care. Schedule it. You take a day off for some fun. You know what I'm talking about.
You know what?
Take the day off for your rights. Your right. I have my shirt on, too. I know my rights. So we got to do it. We can do it for pleasure. We can do it for business.
Come on now.
Reparations, but we don't need to count on Democrat or
Republicans. Yes.
They come looking for us.
Yes.
That's what we got. That's reparations.
Yes. Thank you so much, Maurice.
No, thank you.
So proud of you. All right, honey.
For being a guide in life.
Oh, you're quite welcome. Have a good one, man. All right, bye-bye. Love the WURD listeners. All right, Nicole Keels Magruder, community advocate, board member of Habitat for Humanity Philadelphia, and chair of the Family Services Committee. That's all I'm going to read from this bio today. Nicole, are you there?
Yes, I am here, Andrea. Yes.
What is going on in the streets, honey?
Yes, happy Election Day.
Same to you.
Yes, we finally made it here. And you know what? This morning it was jam-packed at almost every polling location.
Really?
I had reports from all over Montco. The lines were around the block, and we thought that, whoa, maybe it's going to be a really, really busy day today. But what has happened is they have really thinned out. And I'm sorry you hear that in the background because we are actually remote today.
Yes.
Because we're going site to site. But the polling locations have really thinned out. So to me, that's a good thing. It looks like, there are a lot of folks who took advantage of, sending their ballots in by mail. So we want to just make sure that those individuals who might be walking around with their mail-in ballot do not drop them in the mailbox.
Okay.
You have two options. Either take it to your local drop box. You can still do that. They're still manned today. You need to have them in the drop box by 8 p.m. If you are in line, that does not cut it like it does if you're waiting in line in actual polling location. So make sure your ballot is in the drop box by 8 p.m.
No later.
Exactly. But you can also go to a polling site with your full ballot package, all the envelopes. You can have your ballot spoiled, and you can vote like you normally would going in person.
Got it.
Change your mind. So as long as you have your full mail-in ballot, all the envelopes, you can go right in there to a polling location and still vote.
Wow. Wow. What is the energy like as you go from place to place today in Montgomery County?
People are very mellow. People are friendly. Everybody's, smiling. I think that there was a lot of concerns about, there might be some agitators out here trying to stop the progress. But everybody is friendly. Everybody is very much welcoming. We have a team across Montgomery County right now, and I know there's teams working in Philly, too.
There are teams everywhere in Philadelphia, from across the country and the world in Philadelphia.
We just want to make sure that voters are comfortable. If there is a long line, that they have PPE, that they have food. We're ordering, pizzas and whatever other hot foods if they're very, very long wait. So we're doing that across the county because we didn't know exactly what this was going to look like.
Right.
And see what the impact of the mail-in ballot was going to have. Were we still going to have long lines? So we're still going to kind of, still keep roving the city because there could be an influx, later on this evening.
Right.
So we just want to be sure that we take care of those folks who might be voting later on tonight.
Right, because they're working.
Right now the lines are thin. So if folks want to come in person, you're pretty much in and out.
Wow.
All the polling locations, and we've been to about 15 so far. So it's all looking about the same.
Where have you been in Montgomery County so far?
We've been to Cheltenham Elementary. We've been to the Towers. We've been to Glenside Elementary. We've been to Lamont Community Center. Right now we're out in Norristown at Stewart Middle School. And we're actually going to have a DJ out here and a food truck and funnel cake and hot dogs. So if anybody's in Norristown, check us out. We're Stewart Middle School, 1715 Marshall.
1715 Marshall. Okay.
Yep. So we'll be out here for a few hours.
Okay.
But also if you see any lines, spot any lines, please give us a call. You can text us at 267-702-8255. 4166. Take a picture of the line, send it to us, and we'll order some food to be delivered so folks don't go hungry while they're waiting in line.
All right. So now again, if you get to a polling station and you see any lines, please text 267-702-4166 with a picture of the line, and they'll get food to you to that location. Man, you all are not playing.
Yes, we are serious. We're going to take care of our voters this year, make sure that no one is disenfranchised by a long line. We're going to make sure they're comfortable and they don't leave.
Wow.
So, and we have chairs. Any elderly folks come out, folks that have any mobility issues, we do have chairs right here in my van, so we have it covered. So come on out and vote.
Wow.
And all brought to you by Vote Fest 2020 and Community Hero.
Community Hero. And what's the other group?
Vote Fest 2020.
Vote Fest 2020. Yes. I love it. I love it. I've never seen so many groups pop up to help people to vote that I have seen in this election. I didn't want to just stay home, Nicole, and wait for the election results. I wanted to see what was going on in the streets myself. And I'm telling you, people are just so, it's weird. You're right. It's kind of like a mellow, but a wary kind of, who are you? Are you friend or foe? What's going on here? I literally had to tell this one sister, this is my hood. I live in it. Oh, you live in the neighborhood. Well, I said, well, Jesus. Because she's looking at me like, where you going with your high acidity self?
And then she's ready to start bumping elbows.
Yes, because I live in the hood, right, with them. So it's very interesting. People are, they're trying to remain calm. And in Philly, they're not playing those games, man. You look suspicious. You have something to answer to in these streets on Election Day. So I'm just happy and heartened. I'm glad to hear what's going on in Montgomery County. Continue, I am on the air until 4 o'clock. So send me a text if you have any updates, and I'll read them on the air, okay?
Okay, will do. Thanks so much.
Oh, you're quite welcome.
You are one of those unsung community heroes, keeping the message out there. I really appreciate you and everything that you do.
Oh, you're quite welcome. Now, again, you are in Norristown at Stewart Middle School, where you're going to have a DJ and you have a food truck, hot dogs and stuff for people. So if you're in Norristown and you haven't voted, dance your way right on over to Stewart Middle School at 1715 Marshall Road. They'll be out there for the next couple of hours. A DJ and food. I might drive to Norristown for some hot dogs. All right, sis. Take it easy. Happy Election Day.
You too.
All right, bye-bye. All right, I think you better call Tyrone. Call him. Happy Election Day, Tyrone.
Hello, Mother.
How you doing, honey?
Well, Mother, everything seems to be in place.
Yes.
Thanking God for everything I see. First of all, peace and blessing to my WURD family. Much love and respect to all of you.
Yes, sir.
We been out here putting stuff door to door.
Yes.
Mother, I want to give my polling place a high five. Our line was twisted all the way around the corner.
Come on now.
Mother, they got us out of there, inside and out. I'm telling you, to the commissioners, to the workers, to everybody at 63rd and onWURD, I'm sending a high five. Now, that was this morning. Now, I don't know how things went later on during the day because, during the primaries, the morning was beautiful. Then then they ran out of the ballot in the afternoon. So, but this time around, all I can say is I got to give them a high five.
That's
and
awesome.
Mother, look here, we are going to part the Red Sea.
Come on. Listen, I got my scepter. I got my scepter, Tyrone. I got the diva scepter. I'm parting the Red Sea, me and Jesus. We're going to stand out there and part the Red Sea and say, that's it, enough. My people have suffered enough. That's what we're going to do, Tyrone.
And last but not least, Mother, my partner, her name is Michelle. Michelle, say hello to Mother. Hello.
Hi, Michelle. How you doing, honey? If he said anything bad about me, it's not true.
You got that right there. I'm blessed and highly favored.
So me and my partner's been out here like going door to door, but she hit me with something, Mother, and
what?
I'm going to share it with you. She said, If he act like he don't want to go,
don't want to give up the baton. You don't want to pass the baton.
if he don't want to pass the baton, get ready to wear the jacket.
Wear the what?
Put him in the straight jacket. Listen,
What?
remember the movie Lady Sing the Blues with Diana Ross? I've been saying it for a year. That's how we're going to have to do him. He's going to be in the straight jacket looking like Diana Ross.
Or as we say in Jamaica, small up yourself.
Yeah. If he don't want to let it go, he's going to wear the jacket. Okay, man, we got to let you go.
All right. Take it easy, man. It's always a pleasure talking to you. Bye, friend.
Mother, love you.
Love you too, honey. All right. Bye-bye.
Love you. Stay safe.
All right. We will. Thank you so much, honey. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
All right. Now, Rosalind from Kensington. Rosalind, are you there?
Yes, praise the Lord, my mother. I've been doing the same thing. Go, Maurice. No brother. Everybody, call Tyrone. Yeah, we're going to do the straight jacket. Billie Holiday that was. I grew up on that. Hey, I got all them people up in my brain. Yeah, I'm bipolar, but mess with me. I'm schizophrenic. I bet you they ain't never put no straight jacket on me. I hit them psychiatrists teachers so bad, they got away from me. But I got plenty of food. You ever heard of WW GoFundMe?
Yes.
Well, Miss Viola, and I just sent 50 platters up to South Philly. They came and picked up water, cakes, everything. And I got strips and fish and stuff for y'all, but I didn't know how to get in touch with nobody. Collard greens, green beans, white potatoes.
You better. Do you hear that? She had. So, what do you mean you didn't know how to get it to us?
I'm disabled. I can't be rolling
around.
Unless I get my limousine to bring all that I do is take a phone call. Bring the truck.
Oh, my God.
Go back in the day. We would pick them up. What was it? John Street, Milton Street.
Yes.
On Diamond Street, we would pick the people up. And you knew who to vote for, all this legal stuff. In Georgia, they would make you pull your vote here and go all the way over across town.
Yes.
No, I'm so proud of my people. You know, they always talking about Philadelphia, and they be saying it's still Philadelphia, still Philadelphia, but everybody come here. So who are we now?
They are here. They are here, Miss Rosalind. They're here from across the world in Philadelphia, you know, really at the polling stations, asking questions, doing interviews. I'm proud, too. I'm proud of us. I'm proud that we're carrying ourselves in a dignified manner. I'm proud that we're showing up. I am proud that we have had more mail-in ballots than they have seen in forever. I am proud that they cannot say, if we do not prevail in this election, they cannot blame it on black folk in Philadelphia. Do you hear what I'm saying?
I insist, but I'm a perfect example. Which one of them you want me to bring out? You have to tell the people they okay. I keep telling people I have white people in my family. That's not the issue. We don't act like that.
That's right. That's right.
They didn't even get an education. I only got a 9th grade education, but all my hers underneath me is well taken care of.
And guess what, Miss Rosalind? You may have only gotten a 9th grade education according to you, but you have a PhD heart. Remember, I told you that. You have a PhD heart. You send 50 platters to people, and while we
teachers, Dr. Waller is my pastor. They kept skipping me all around. My kids trying to hover me in. I tell y'all what to do. I tell where that bipolar schizophrenic at now. Say something. I lived off a check for 19 years. In and out of friends' house. Even they don't even know how to take care of the people. They know me. I bet they don't mess with me neither.
How about that, miss? I see people like you always. A friend of mine called me this morning, and she said to me, you know why people don't mess with you, Andrea? I said, why? She said, because you're iron, and iron sharpens iron, and when they're not iron, you cut right through them without even a backward glance. She said, because you've got your stuff together. She said, and wait, Miss Rosalind. Then she said to me, and I bet you they're not so crazy to understand that they cannot mess with you because they have no idea who you know and who knows you. So they have to leave you alone. Yep. And so that's the thing. When you carry yourself with dignity and grace, and when you treat people well, especially, there you go. There you go. There you go.
Because you're priceless.
Yes, ma'am.
Everybody.
Yes, ma'am.
We're priceless. You can't put a price tag on us.
That's right. Come on now, Miss Roston. So I want to thank you on behalf of the people whose bellies you fed. I want to thank you for supporting them. We are thankful that you even thought about us. We don't even want to know what you had on the platter for us because we can't come get it, right? So don't don't you do it to me. Don't do it to me, Miss Roston.
Shoot. Well, you can call them on because guess what? One way or other, it's going to go. I'll feed the homeless. I don't care. As long as somebody. That's what I've been doing down here. And the Puerto Ricans don't want to vote. They say they're voting for Trump.
Listen, let me tell you something. We can only do what we can do, right?
Don't get me wrong. To each his own.
That's right.
But I just can't see it.
I know, Miss Rosalind. But remember now, remember what Harriet Tubman said? I freed many, and I would have freed more if they weren't blind to the things that were going on around them. So you can't carry folks who don't want to believe and carry themselves, right? So you do what you can for those who want to, and those who, you know, some people have to have the weeping and the wailing and the gnashing of teeth to get themselves together. And that's okay, too. Right? Folks learn the way they need to, right? I love you, man. Thank you so much.
You too. And listen, you know, I write and stuff because I taught my sons how to do writing and rapping and all that and the breakdown. They got their own. It's called UE Radio. We got 12,000 square feet. We get ready to start hiring people. I ain't doing nothing. I cross my legs now, but just to go to say, all them black young boys and men that I've raised and around these condominiums, they came on, they said, Miss Cookie, you raised some beautiful sons.
Oh, I can tell. I told you had a PhD heart. Didn't I tell you that? You have a PhD heart. I can tell, you know. Yeah. And what is untenable for me is that we look down on folks that we think are not in our echelon in life because we have made it and we have arrived. We are only as good as the person next to us and what we have done to uplift the people around us. So we're looking down on people. We better be looking down to lift them up because the person that you look down on today is the person that's going to be stepping right past you tomorrow. We have to always remember that.
Andre, because I want you to help me, because I want to do my books. I done wrote 5 books since I been on WURD. And yes, but my grammar might not be right and my spelling might not be right.
Okay.
But,
so email me. I am an English major. Email me, and I've got some friends who would volunteer their time to go through the stuff for you. Okay. See, it ain't nothing but a chicken wing. All you got, if you ask.
I learned that a couple of.
There you go.
When I was 9.5 years old, I wore 100. When I got 10, I wore 125 pounds.
Yes.
My grandma showed me how to do that chicken, put them biscuits in the oven with cable.
Miss Roslyn, you gonna stop. Miss Roslyn, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. We gotta take a break. Email me though, okay? Stay on the line and Mike will give you my email. Love you too, honey. Stay on the line. Mike will give you my email address, okay?
Everybody become a member. Don't forget I asked so I can get my renew my membership and get my hoodie.
Your hoodie, yes. Did you already do it?
No, I don't know.
Okay, so do it now because it ended yesterday. But do
yesterday nobody
answered. Okay, so then
and I talked to Mr. Ken too.
All right, so here's what I'm going to tell you to do. Call again. Keep calling them. Tell them you spoke to me, that you called on the 2nd, and you want your hoodie. Okay. And if they don't give you your hoodie, I will buy you a hoodie and send it to you. Okay.
All right,
my sister. Take it easy. Love you. All right. Bye-bye. You are listening to The Source, 96.1 FM, 900 AM, streaming live on WURDradio.com. Follow us on all social media platforms at onWURD. 215-634-8065 is the number to call in. If you are hearing the sound of my voice, I am Andrea Lawful Sanders, and we will be right back after these messages.
There's a pressing need to strengthen pathways to better jobs in communities of color. That's why Bank of America is investing $1 billion to advance racial equality and economic opportunity.
I'm Jim Dever, Greater Philadelphia Market President for Bank of America. We've partnered with Coded by Kids to connect people to new skills and employment opportunities. It's just one way we're taking action in Greater Philadelphia right now.
Bank of America N.A., member FDIC, equal credit opportunity lender.
As our nation battles a pandemic and economic downturn, the health and financial security of voters over 50 are on the line. That's why AARP Pennsylvania is fighting for your voice to be heard. From preventing cuts to Social Security to protecting Medicare to lowering prescription drug prices, you deserve to cast your vote on issues that matter to you and AARP Pennsylvania is here to help. We want to make sure that you know all of your voting options and that all Americans, from working parents to family caregivers to seniors in nursing homes, can vote safely whether they choose to vote from home or in person. To learn more about how AARP Pennsylvania is fighting to protect voters 50 plus and how to make your voice heard this November, visit aarp.org/PA votes. Paid for by AARP.
Everyone has a different journey to their vote, but we all take the same steps. If you want to vote, register by October 19th. If you want to vote by mail, apply now and mail your ballot back as early as possible, before November 3rd. Or bring it to a satellite election office. If you want to vote in person, go to your polling location on November 3rd. However you want to vote, we'll help you find the way. Visit PhiladelphiaVotes.com.
Hey guys, Tony Staten here, host of the Labor's Live radio show. And I have a question for all of the Labor's District Council union members and WURD listeners. Is your election checklist completed? Well, let's see. Is everyone of age in your household registered to vote? Is your mail-in ballot application completed? Have you confirmed your polling place for in-person voting? And do you know the names of the candidates running for office in your area? Well, if you've answered no to any of these questions, go to votespa.com for more information. And remember, exercise your right to vote. Your livelihood depends on it. Don't forget to tune into Labor's Live every Friday from 4 to 5 p.m. on WURD, WURD.
This is Latasha Brown of Black Voters Matter. Trump is a liar. He and the Republicans will do anything to steal this election. For weeks, Trump and his supporters have been gassing up our community with empty promises, fear tactics, and spending millions of dollars on social media ads with outright lies to divide us. He says he's been good to black people. Truth is, 80% of black businesses didn't receive any stimulus money. Thousands of our folks have died from COVID-19 because of his lack of leadership. And the First Step Act was created by Congress, not him. He only signed it. It is important that we know that black wealth has not grown at all in the last 4 years. So while some may be easily fooled and distracted by Trump lies, not us. We must stand strong that we're not going back because racism is not okay. Family, make sure that you get out on November 3rd and cast your vote.
Paid for by Black Voters Matter Action Pack, which is responsible for the content of this ad, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee.
Hi, this is the actress Cela Ward. Election Day is coming up, and making sure that our votes are counted is just as critical as casting the ballot. Any voter can vote by mail by using a mail-in ballot, but please follow the instructions carefully. After you fill out your ballot, you place it in the white envelope labeled official ballot. Your ballot won't be counted if it's not in this envelope. Put the white envelope into the pre-addressed outer return envelope, sign, seal that pre-addressed return envelope, and sign the declaration on the envelope. Return your ballot by mail or by hand delivering it to your County Board of Election office or dropping it off at a designated drop box location. This year's been hard, losing loved ones, jobs, class time, more shootings of unarmed black people. So your vote, our vote, is part of making things better. And remember, the election isn't over until every vote is counted.
Paid for by the Leadership Center for Attorney General Studies.
You're listening to The Source with Andrea Lawful Sanders on WURD Radio. Streaming live on WURDRadio.com and the WURD Radio app.
Welcome back to The Source. From Vox.com, if Trump won't concede, these activists have a plan, written by Anna North, updated November 2nd. Groups like the Movement for Black Lives, the Sunrise Movement, and the Women's March are ready for November 4th. President Trump has repeatedly refused to say whether he'll accept the results of the 2020 election. During one debate, he told a far-right street-fighting group to stand back and stand by, raising concerns about violence on November 3rd and beyond. He's also made false claims that the winner must be decided on election night before many votes will be counted, and said he expects the winner to be decided by the Supreme Court. All of this has many people concerned that even if Democratic nominee Joe Biden wins the election, Trump will refuse to concede, or that the president will seek to block enough votes through court challenges that he will be declared the winner. It is a scary prospect, not just for Biden supporters, but for the future of democracy in America. But activists around the country are already planning for such a scenario and say there are actions ordinary Americans can take to push back. It starts with normalizing the fact that no matter what Trump says, we may not know the winner by the morning of November 4th. What's going to be required of everyone in this country is to understand that we might not have immediate results and that this election may feel different than it has in the past. Arisha Hatch, executive director of the racial group Color for Change PAC, told Vox, and rather than rushing to declare a victory on election night, it's incredibly important that every single ballot is counted. And if Trump or his supporters try to impede the process of counting or refuse to accept the results, Americans can use tools that have worked against coups in other countries. From street protests, I think it should be, from street protests, you made me lose my thing, to rolling strikes. Daniel Hunter, a founder of the activist group Choose Democracy, told Vox, the group has been hosting trainings to help people respond if Trump tries to block vote counting or refuses to concede. Wow, they have plans, all right, and they have scripts, so come on with it. People are ready. All right, now we have our brand new roving reporter, Sojourner Ahabe. It was a Philadelphia-based reporter and audio producer. Her work has appeared in The Atlantic, WHYY, The Philadelphia Tribune, Rewire, and Roxanne Gay and Tressie McMillan Cotman's podcast, Here to Slay. Sojourner, are you there?
Oh, I am there. Hello, hello.
Woohoo! What's the word on the street? Muffa was out this morning. Lord, I was so excited.
Yes. Okay, so I feel like the energy was really, really strong this morning.
Yes.
A lot of folks came out in that sort of like early 7 a.m. period. That's where we were seeing a lot of the long lines. I've mostly been in West Philly today, so I started out around 41st Street, North 41st Street. I hit up Overbrook, and now I'm in Cobbs Creek reporting live. The lines are like inexistent right now. I think everyone kind of really came out.
Yes, early this morning, yes.
Right, and they're predicting there's going to be another peak around 4 p.m.
Yes.
So we're going to see that pick up into the evening as, folks get off work and other people have time, to vote.
What is the mood that you're seeing out there right now?
I mean, the energy is incredible. I've seen so many older folks coming out, folks that really didn't have a lot of support and just were dead set on voting today. I saw a lot of young people out. And everyone's, respecting their space. There's a lot of social distancing concerns with the pandemic, and poll workers are so, overwhelmed. They can't be outside all the time to make sure everyone's, 6 feet, away from each other and things like that. So everyone's doing their part on their own to make sure everyone's safe, secure, and there's still, a spirit of, there's a really nice spirit out on the streets right now. I would say. I don't think people are sad or overwhelmed. There's a really hopeful spirit right now, I guess.
Yeah. So here's my other question: did you run into people from other states at the polling stations?
I did not. I did not have that experience.
What? So Sojourner, everywhere that I went, I ran into people from France. Who are reporting from public radio and NPR in France. They say they've been here for a week. They plan to be here for another week. They are very interested in the election. I ran into a group from California who came straight to Philadelphia because the president had said bad things happen in Philly, and so they devised a plan and flew in from California. There's 14 of them here at different polling stations. I met people from Connecticut, New York, and Washington, D.C. And what I've come to learn, as I was going because I went from northwest to southwest. Don't ask how I ended up in both corners of the city. But what I learned in both places was that people are they're taking it very seriously, that the entire world is watching Philadelphia.
Right. Absolutely.
It's something to see. It is something to see. So are you going to be out for the rest of the evening?
I am. Shortly after leaving Cobbs Creek, I'm going to head over to North Philly, so I'll be in the Cecil B. Moore neighborhood.
Okay.
See what the energy is over there. But yeah, that is the plan.
Wow, man. Are there any end of evening events, watch parties that you're planning to go to?
I actually might be part of something that WURD is doing later tonight around 9 with, with Charles. So that is in the works.
Okay.
And the story is going to, go live tomorrow, sort of a cumulative report of what we saw. I think something that's been interesting is that a lot of folks that were coming out in person that I've talked to, some of them already had planned to, and that was what they were most comfortable with. But a lot of voters that I spoke to today also said they sent their mail-in ballots in, and they weren't confirmed, and they couldn't figure out if they got there in time. And these were a lot of older people were reporting that to me, so folks that really couldn't afford to be out here during a pandemic. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was definitely a concern.
It's something that we will have to address. I remember my husband didn't get his until like 2 days ago. He finally got an email that said his ballot was confirmed. And it's heart-rending, because he had voted weeks ago. We voted at the same time, and mine went in and his didn't. So it was interesting to see.
I can imagine. Yeah.
It was frustrating. It was actually very frustrating for him. And he was like, I want my ballot counted.
Yes, it really is such a frustrating process.
Yes.
They would have it more streamlined by now, but
yeah, I'm excited. I had an opportunity to chat with BET later on. But man, I had to work. I would love to talk to you all and be a part of your interviews, but I have got to work. So, some other folks will be able to do it instead of me, and that's fine too. I'm excited of what is happening here because Black Entertainment Television is right here in Philadelphia in Southwest right now as we speak. I believe Biden is supposed to show up there. I hear Common is here. Will Smith is here. There's a lot going on in this city. You needed 10 of you to cover what was going on, seriously, right?
Oh my God, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I will continue to cover from my end, you cover from your end, and thank you for giving us what we need to have. I just fully appreciate you. Yes, ma'am. All right, have a good one. Okay, now remember, do you have your package together, your food, your ad bill?
You this morning. Yes, I was like, let me be prepared. Andrea told me to be prepared. Yes, I have my water bottle. I have my snacks. I'm out here.
That's right, because you don't want to get that headache at the end of the night, and try to faint. You got to tarry. You can't faint not now. All right, it's so good talking to you, and welcome again to the WURD family. All right, honey, bye-bye. Bye-bye. That was so good. I'm not just. You know what I realized, Mike? I love talking to people. Can you tell? Yeah. You should have seen me out in the streets this week. You should have seen me with District Attorney Krasner. I was like, how you doing? What you doing? What's going on out here? Tina from West Philly, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
How are you? Tina, what happened? Tina, I think you hung up accidentally. Call me back, Tina. I got you. She's still there?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, okay. All right. What's going on, my love?
I'm sorry. I just want to thank you for everything.
You're welcome.
For all what you do.
Oh,
you're
welcome.
Can I give a shout out?
Yes.
Okay, my daughter's working at Westfield on the pole.
Yes.
And I just want to shout out to her. Her name is Droxine Sample. And I mailed in my ballot. I think it was October 2nd when my mail-in ballot came.
All right.
That's all I wanted to do.
All right. Well, shout out to Roxine Sample. Your mama's giving you a shout out on the radio. She's probably holding her head like, no, she didn't.
I know.
Why is my mama doing this to me on the air? And with mother, because, you tell me I'm going to do it, right?
There you go, right?
Oh, how are you feeling about the elections today?
I'm feeling so good because I said, God, you're still in charge no matter what they try to do. And my daughter feels the same way. God's in charge. He's not fearful at all at the polls.
Yes. Well, listen, what's your election day meal going to be? Because somebody called and said they made their beans.
It's funny. I'm going to have salmon, rice, and broccoli.
Oh. No, that sounds like a mother meal. That sounds like a meal I can eat.
and fresh rice.
Yes.
Fresh rice.
Yeah, you can't listen. As a Jamaican, we love our rice. So when I was diagnosed with diabetes, I can no longer eat white rice. I said a prayer and I buried the white rice. Like literally had to say a prayer because I could eat white rice morning, noon, and night. Right?
I know because they called me Geechee because I'm a rice eater also.
So. Yep.
You know?
I could eat rice all day while other people eat potatoes and all that. Nope. I could eat a bowl of rice with some gravy. Don't even have to have meat in it. Just rice.
I'm the same way, and I even have rice pudding. So.
Lord.
Rice.
Yeah, we need help.
Thanks so much for everything.
Oh, you're welcome, Miss Tina. Have a good one, okay?
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
You are listening to The Source, 96.1 FM, 900 AM, streaming live on WURDradio.com. Follow us on all social media platforms at onWURD. 215-634-8065 is the number to call in. If you are hearing the sound of my voice, I am Andrea Lawful Sanders, and we will be right back after these messages.
Hi, I'm Tobias Harris. We've been hashtagging and protesting, but this November, we can show the system what time it is. We've been victims of police brutality, stop and frisk, and other forms of harassment. On November 3rd, we take our power back. This year, everything changes. We can vote to end stop and frisk and put police accountability in the hands of the people. It's on us. On November 3rd, vote to make our communities safer and our systems fairer.
Paid for by Black Vote PA, which is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.theelectionisnow.com.
Just one more step. You got it.
You're doing great. This is the sound of a nationally ranked top rehabilitation hospital, home to the largest collection of robotics in the United States, where we continually exceed patient expectations, because no injury is too severe or too minor for our care.
There you go.
This is the sound of success. Moss Rehab. Challenge accepted.
Voters, it's time to know your rights. Know that history is on your side. History has given you the right to vote. See yourself during the most important election of our time. See yourself casting your ballot and not letting anyone or anything stand in your way. See yourself as the voter with the most powerful voice. The voice of the young first-time voter. The voice of the disabled voter. The voice of the experienced senior citizen. The voice that is black, white, Hispanic, Asian, Native American. The voter that is straight, lesbian, gay, bi, trans, non-binary. You are the American voter who cannot be suppressed. It's time that you know that casting your ballot isn't difficult at all. You just have to know your rights. Voters, you have the right to a free and fair election. That's why your voice will not be suppressed. Your vote is your voice. Call or text 866-OUR-VOTE for more information on your voting rights.
WURD Radio presents the following information to help you navigate the upcoming election.
This is Charles Ellison, host of Reality Check on WURD. More than 2/3 of all poll workers are 61 years of age or older. That's created a serious poll worker shortage, as older poll workers are understandably nervous about health risks during pandemic. If you or someone you know under the age of 40 is looking for part-time work and is interested in contributing to their community, sign up to be a poll worker today. In Pennsylvania, go to votespa.com, click on Be a Poll Worker, and complete an application. Keep following us at onWURD on Twitter, facebook.com/forward, and #WordOnPolitics for constant updates on election 2020. And remember, vote early.
Stay informed and vote. For more from Charles Ellison, tune in Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. or visit WURDradio.com. Jobs, entrepreneurship opportunities, small business resources, and financial literacy. Livelihood. The new initiative from WURD Radio to connect Philadelphians to resources to help take the next steps in their professional lives. WordWorks.com features career readiness tools, entrepreneurship resources, funding opportunities, and events to expand your livelihood. Visit WURDworks.com right now and take the next step in your professional journey. Livelihood is supported by the Nightland Fest's Local News Transformation Fund, Borealis Philanthropies Racial Equity and Journalism Fund, and the Solutions Journalism Network.
This is Latasha Brown of Black Voters Matter. Trump is a liar. He and the Republicans will do anything to steal this election. For weeks, Trump and his supporters have been gassing up our community with empty promises, fear tactics, and spending millions of dollars on social media ads with outright lies to divide us. He says he's been good to black people. Truth is, 80% of black businesses didn't receive any stimulus money. Thousands of our folks have died from COVID-19 because of his lack of leadership. And the First Step Act was created by Congress, not him. He only signed it. It is important that we know that black wealth has not grown at all in the last 4 years. So while some may be easily fooled and distracted by Trump lies, not us. We must stand strong that we're not going back because racism is not okay. Family, make sure that you get out on November 3rd and cast your vote.
Paid for by Black Voters Matter Action PAC, which is responsible for the content of this ad, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee.
You're listening to The Source with Andrea Lawful Sanders on WURD Radio. Streaming live on WURDradio.com and the WURD Radio app.
Welcome back to The Source. Latasha Brown is not playing. They called me yesterday morning through Brittany Smalls and was trying to get through to Lisa for those commercials. I was like, yep. I sent her on over. I think Brittany ended up calling Coesa. Yeah, they called me early yesterday morning, was like, we need this commercial on the air. So I was like, yes, go on over there and do what you have to do. I have a call at these Wacondan times. Okay. Woody would not just put him right on, please. Hello, sir.
How are you?
I've been in these streets.
I am so proud of you. I've been listening to the whole program.
Yes.
And I didn't understand why. Let me see something. Hold it. I didn't understand why. Mm-hmm. You know, everybody was trying to not understand, you know, we're here, we're there, we're everywhere. It's not a matter of that. It's you guys are out there in the streets, and you always go out there.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? You don't sit back. You go out there and you do your thing, and I'm very proud of you for that.
Thank you.
I just wanted to thank you. Plus, that's part of this whole educational piece. So back to education again, over and over. Hopefully, you know, the people will understand the importance of voting, and we can do a little more studying for ourselves to find out how can we help educate kids a lot more about the whole process.
Yes.
And I think we can do that here in Philly since all the eyes are on us. We can become a great example of why the children of the former slaves should definitely vote.
Yeah, we have a lot going on here in this city, and while I thank you for, you know, acknowledging the fact that we have been out here, some of us have been in the streets, because, you know, I operate from this theory called the Fred factor. If I'm doing something, I'm going to give it the best that I have, no matter what is going on around me. The Fred factor. There's a book called The Fred Factor. And whatever you put your mind to, whatever job you have, don't just do the basic job that you're being paid for. Really do go above and beyond, because that really, first of all, you hone your skills and learn what you can, but then other people start to notice you. You would not believe the amount of calls that I've gotten from media folks. Media folks are watching, like, oh my God, you are literally out here killing the game. And it wasn't for anything other than my love for people, right? And really just wanting to do a good job at whatever it is that I touch. So stay tuned. Some stuff is coming down the pipe.
I'm going to stay tuned, and I want you to forget my love for you, because you are very important to the radio station and more important to those who are being educated. So
I appreciate it.
That teacher, mother.
I appreciate it, Woody. You know, I love you all to pieces, and the goal is wherever I am, to make sure that my people are okay, right? That we're not just complaining and fussing, but that we have solutions to what we're doing, and that we get the job done, right?
That's called a good mother.
Yeah, right. Right.
With plenty of love. So brotherly love, continue to do this. I appreciate you very much. I listened to the whole program.
Yes.
So you're right on top of everything.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Happy Election Day. Bye-bye. Haley Stephen Alston says, your show has got me feeling good. So real, exciting in a non-stressful way. Much better than the so-called Black Think Tank show prior to you coming on the air. They reminded me of Carson Wentz trying to do too much. Oh, ouch. Well, all right then, Haley. Thank you for the compliment, I think. I appreciate you, man. Just, you know, again, just doing the work on behalf of all of you, because It doesn't serve anyone if I'm just in here pontificating. You hear me say this all the time. Like, I need to go out and see what's going on. What are you all talking about? What's on your minds? And to do some great research around what's happening in the city and why are we so stagnated on so many levels. All right, so I'm going to quickly read this from the New York Times. It says, it's election day and we have advice about how to watch the results come in. Pay attention now. After a presidential campaign like no other, election day is finally here. If you are not among the roughly 100 million Americans who have already voted, the good news is that lines this year may be shorter than usual because of all the early voting. Here's the advice from Vote.org on the logistics of voting today. The first part of today's newsletter consists of a viewer's guide to watching the returns tonight. I know, I'm going to go home and take a whole nap. Above all, I recommend that you be skeptical about any sweeping claims that you hear early tonight from Presidential Trump or on television and social media. The surge of early voting and mail-in ballots this year means that no candidates, political strategists, or journalists have ever experienced an election like today's. Figuring out the meaning of the early vote totals will be difficult, and I expect some commentators will make mistakes. The Times will err on the side of being careful. As Dean Beckett, our executive editor, told me yesterday, we will be cautious. There is no value in getting out front in calling any election, particularly one conducted during a pandemic, and we certainly won't be guided by declarations from any of the candidates. We will be guided by returns. Let the data work. Of course, we recognize that many Americans won't be satisfied waiting until tomorrow morning to hear the results. People are too invested in the outcome. So here are some key indicators to watch for tonight. Just don't make the mistake of thinking any one of them holds a definitive answer. Let's see. The earliest meaningful results, they will arrive shortly after 7 p.m. after the polls close in much of Florida and Georgia. 30 minutes later, North Carolina's polls also close. Those three states are worth watching for two reasons. First, if Joe Biden wins any of the three, he becomes an overwhelming favorite to win the presidency. Second, the three seem likely to count votes in a more easily decipherable way than almost any other state. They will announce not only where the ballots were coming from, but also how those ballots were cast. That distinction is crucial because the mail-in vote will lean Democratic in most states, while the in-person vote will lean Republican. But nobody knows exactly how big the skew will be. So reported vote counts that don't distinguish between in-person and mail-in ballots will be extremely difficult to analyze. Because Florida, Georgia, and North Carolina will make all the distinction, they are the only three states for which the Times is creating versions of its election night needles this year. The needles will show the percentage chance of a Trump or Biden victory in each state as it changes tonight based on counted ballots. There will be no national needle this year. The limits of available data just make it too risky to do responsibly. The bottom line, if Biden seems on track to lose Florida, Georgia, and North Carolina, he is no longer a big favorite to win. That would suggest the polls had underestimated Trump's support. In 538 simulations, Biden has about 50% chance of victory if he loses all three southeastern swing states. He would then probably need to win at least Pennsylvania or Arizona. A second big Senate race is in Maine, where polls close at 8 p.m. Maine's ranked choice voting system means the official results may not be tallied for several days. But if the Democratic challenger Sarah Gideon is winning more than 47% of the first round vote, she will be in good shape to beat Susan Collins, the Republican incumbent, Dan Shee of Colby College told us. In Arizona and Colorado, where polls close at 9 p.m., the Democratic challengers are favored, winning those 4 seats and the vice presidency, which breaks Senate ties. It will probably be enough to give Democrats control of the Senate. Woohoo! They will also have a decent shot to win in South Carolina, where polls close at 7 p.m., Iowa at 10 p.m., Montana at 10 p.m., and Georgia, where one or both races may go to a January runoff. Dear Lord. If early stage doesn't go well for Biden, the country's attention will then turn to 2 states above all, Pennsylvania, where polls close at 8 p.m., and Arizona. Pennsylvania will likely take days to count mail ballots, meaning there might not be a result until later this week. But Biden has a narrow path without Pennsylvania. He would need to win Michigan and Wisconsin, where he is favored, Arizona, where he holds a narrow lead in polls, and one of the 2 congressional districts that award electoral votes separately in Maine and Nebraska, and Biden leads in both. One wild card, Texas. Biden wouldn't need to win anything other than the states Hillary Clinton won in 2016, not Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, or Arizona. Most analysts believe that Biden won't win Texas if he also isn't winning at least one state in the Southeast. But early turnout has been enormous in Texas this year, and elections are inherently uncertain. That's why so many Americans are feeling anxious this morning. So listen, y'all, I'm coming to the end of the show. When I next talk to you on Thursday, the elections will be over. We'll be getting results in. We'll probably have a good idea by Thursday afternoon when I show up for the source whether we have a Biden presidency or an incumbent Trump presidency. Mike is over here looking like he's about to toss his cookies. But listen, it is what it is. And remember, if we got this far, we can come through whatever it is that is sent our way. I want you all to continue to pray, love on one another, continue to work on the polls today, get as many people out to vote, right? Treat each other well, and I will see you on the other side. I am Andrea Lawful Sanders. I'll see you when I see you. Goodbye.